Good afternoon. Let's turn that down a fraction. There we go. Good afternoon, Pixel, my friend. How are you doing today? Where are we at? We down here. Absolute shocker. Now, fortunately, for you guys at least, I spent a fair bit of time off stream gathering 2 more Black Demon tasks. Unfortunately, we did burn through almost all of our points trying to get it. So, we're going to have enough for this stream, no problem. But we may have to resort to some tutorial skipping later on in the future to try and ensure that we keep demonic gorilla tasks the entire time. I feel like the stream is owed a drop after Monday. So let's see if we can get one. At the very least, a couple more hard clues so we can go get ourselves a casket or something. That would be quite nice. We'll have to play it by ear, see what happens. Should be a nice chill one no matter what, though. I've quite been enjoying the DMM All-Stars, though. Watching the highlight videos by Tasty Life. I haven't been following along very closely, but I've been watching it. And it's been giving me something to do while killing gorillas and blowing glass. Oh, okay. What kind of cookies you making? Music stopped already. Fantastic start. There we go. What is on the bakery tray today? Okay. Some chocolate chocolate chip ones are good though. They're probably up there with the double choc chip or the raspberry ones. I've got a weird affinity for raspberry flavored stuff, and chocolate raspberry cookies slap. Are you the type of person to make a huge batch of cookies and then slowly work your way through them? Or do you just make what you need at the time? Afternoon, Bill. It's looking pretty much the same as it was on Monday. We are still up on the 2 Zenites and the 1 Spring. 449 kills, 2 Zenites, 1 Spring. So we're approaching the KC drop rate for potentially a light frame or the limbs, I believe. Let's just have a quick look. Ballista limbs is 1 in 500, light frame is 1 in 750. So we're relatively close to those in the grand scheme of things. So maybe we see one of those today. Maybe we see ourselves a monkey tail or heavy limbs though, so who knows? I would quite like to get one of the big tickets ticked off, because it just kind of gives like a really big breath of fresh air and some breathing room in this grind. Not that it's bad. I don't mind demonic gorillas at all. Like, in the grand scheme of things, it's actually quite chill. I know you've got a swap, but I'm paying enough attention that I'm never going to die here. Touch wood. But it's engaging enough to keep me actually doing stuff, you know? I'm thinking about that sweet, sweet Zenite jewelry I get to wear. Oh, Neil, good point. Yeah, I can technically do that hunter method, right? With the with the gorillas, and you crush them under the rock. Because that's still within, obviously, the same collection log, so that's not It's not against the rules by any stretch. Ideally, I would like to get them here first. But if I have my 4 Zenites before I have my Monkey Tail, then that's not a bad idea at all. I don't know if it's faster, but it's definitely a lot safer and a lot more chill. So we could do that. Pig said that would make the bets riggable, though. So you are correct. I could stop directly on my KC just so I make sure I get myself a bond. Or a couple bonds, I guess. Yeah, I think maybe then we'd have to go the organic route, which is fine. I mean, as I said, all of the drops that these guys actually do drop are useful. There's nothing here that I don't particularly want. I'm sure there will be a surplus of the javelin tips that I won't need. But until we get the heavy frame and the monkey tail as well, all of those javelins will at some point be used up during future grinds. And we don't want to be coming back. So the more we get, the better. We will fortunately get ourselves a Slayer level today, which is nice. Getting ever so close to the gargoyles at 75. And I don't know how my gear holds up to Dusk and Dawn. Probably not the best in the grand scheme of things, as I have no real crush bonus or anything that particularly boosts those stats. But it would be a fun boss to give a try. I also do need to get myself some combat tasks done. As and when I can. Any bosses that have a combat task attached to it, I need to be ticking off. As we want to upgrade our Gommel's hilt as soon as we can. Mainly because if I don't, I'll forget to do it. Nice little resupply. Yeah, I didn't get all of my settings sorted out for the multi-streaming stuff, unfortunately. But that will be ready for Monday. I'm looking forward to it. I didn't realize quite how much there was to actually set up. Because obviously I'm not predominantly a streamer. I did go to the cinema yesterday though, and watch that new horror film that came out. Obsession. Don't know if anyone's seen it. It's pretty good. It is pretty good. I won't spoil it if you haven't seen it. But I don't know, for the budget that it was made on, the casting and the actors in it, they're phenomenal. I think they gave very convincing performances. The general plot of the story was like not crazy original, but still pretty cool. Afternoon, Brian, mate. How you doing? It's going a-okay here. We are just chipping away at the demonics again. We have 2 tasks stored up, so we don't have to hunt for them. We did burn through quite a few points trying to get it. So we started at 1,750 points. We are now down to 695. And considering the weighting of demonic gorillas, or the weighting of black demons as a task, I was quite surprised. In fact, we got mutated zygomites about 6 times, and they have a weighting of 2. So I don't know what Duradell's trying to tell me, but I don't think he likes me very much. How are you doing this fine Wednesday, middle of the week? It's rather sunny here at the moment, which is nice. I mean, it's been raining, sunny, all over the gaff. Bolts, okay. We take those. Yeah, I think the update's going to definitely come in as I finish, which is a bit of a shame. But as I always say, as long as someone's benefiting from it and they've made a positive change to the game, then that's fine. I don't actually remember what they're doing. I think they're changing it so they have a fixed amount of attacks they take before they swap. So you can't just hit them twice with your best. Like, I can hit 250s back to back pretty much, and then they'll instantly swap, and then I'll have to go back to ranging. Whereas in the future, I think you can do like 6 hits on it or something, then it will swap. Something. I don't actually remember exactly what it said, but it does sound like a very nice change. Good afternoon, Ryan, mate. How are you doing? Now, I should try and incorporate a farm run or 2 in between what I'm doing at the moment. But I don't want to. Is the honest truth. We are getting some dragon fruit tree seeds now. We have quite a few palm tree seeds. Magic tree seeds also. So there's a lot of farming XP to be getting. It's just a detour, you know? Log is looking the same as it was on Monday, unfortunately. We're still on the double Zenites and the Ballista Spring. It took quite a while to hunt down the double Black Demon task. But we've got it now. There's another 460 kills, I believe, that are going to be secured for the Slayer Helm bonuses. So that's good. It's just the slow and steady march of progress that we have to make. And it's not particularly glamorous sometimes. Unless we get more pink beams. Take a look, resupply. Stupid mistake, remove your Gale catch packs and now you have to grind 5 albatross feathers again. Is that on the boat? If you take it off, it doesn't then... Unless you store it in a bottle, right? It gets rid of it. Which is crazy. Do it right, mate. You just got to get stuck back in. It's one of those ones that you might get surprised, have some stored RNG, pick yourself up a couple of nice drops. Or it could go horrifically and you might go dry. But that's just the nature of the beast, unfortunately. As long as you don't mind doing them, then there's no real loss, right? Yeah, the seed drop rate is because it's higher than the normal drops, it doesn't always feel fantastic getting more seeds. But because, as I said, the eventual 99 farming has to happen. So just making life easier then. $900 for the first. Oof. Okay, that's kind of rough. Yeah, I think that's understandable. If you went 900 without one, I get why you might not want to come back here. Okay, so it ironed itself out. You got the balance back out. Just above drop rate, technically, right? Or just before. Are the albatross easy to kill, or are they a pain in the arse to kill? Or does it come from the boss? The Griffin boss? It could be sitting there then if you nearly due a fifth. Although, from experience, being due something and having it rarely goes hand in hand. Maybe, whoops. I mean, the beautiful thing about RuneScape is you can mix it up. Stop yourself getting burnt out. Go get something. Even if you go get yourself a guaranteed collection log, it depends on how you feel about collection logs in general. But if you can just go pick one up for free, it's a nice bit of dopamine. Resets the mental a touch, in my opinion at least. I think the fatigue kicks in a touch when you go dry back to back to back. Because you do, at that point, start to feel a bit cursed. Yeah, if you're hunting them on task as well, then it kind of gives you... It's like doing Hydra, right? Until it shows up, well, unless you're hunting for a specific thing off of it. If it just sort of pops up in your Slayer list, then you'll be like, okay, I'll go do it. But actively hunting for the Hydra? I don't know. Don't know about that one. It takes like a full day to do a task. Although it takes me, I guess, multiple days to do a full task here, depending. Have you got any items that you're particularly hunting for at the moment? Is there anything that would be fantastic for the group to have on the group iron? Or are you sort of just playing it by ear? Ooh, U seeds. Fantastic. Yeah, subtasks, I mean, they seem to take such a long time as well. The prayer drain is kind of spooky also. Just because those ghosts absolutely chew through prayer pots. I'm sure you can do reset methods. There has to be like some cheese methods you can do. But anything that's particularly supply heavy, I find to be a little arduous as an Iron Man. That's fair. I mean, taking a break is never a bad thing. I know many people that have taken breaks after doing the CG grind. Ooh, more prayer pots. Because Corrupted Gauntlet seems to absolutely ruin people. Fingers crossed, I'll roll that after the changes come in, because then it looks like it will be an absolute breeze. Did you guys raid quite a lot when you were playing together? Like when everyone was on? Or was it sort of doing more solo bosses? Because that's the beautiful thing about Group Iron as well. There's so many raids that you can do as a team if you want to. But then outside of that, like if you think about all of the Desert Treasure 2 bosses, there's a lot of content that you can sort of just get stuck in with on your own. And it's kind of adjacent gear, like the Virtus Mage gear is adjacent to the, what do you call it? Ancestral gear. So if you pull a piece of that, pretty nice. That's fair. Yeah, CG is one of those ones that it's not for everyone. In our group, for instance, we had an individual that just didn't gel with it at all. It wasn't their thing. But then you put them on something like Duke or any of the Desert Treasure 2 bosses, and they just get locked in. So it was a nice mix, because then myself or someone else could cane CG for a bit. And then you can just offload gear, right? Work to the group's strengths and weaknesses. Yeah, that's the main thing. If you can get someone else that is keen to do it, then that is fantastic. Oats. Yeah, I've still not even really looked at Doom at all. So it'll be quite interesting to see when that eventually comes up, how that goes. But it looks incredibly dangerous down there, for a hardcore at least. Lots of one-shot mechanics baked in. It's an important part of the Iron Man, though. Collecting resources is a very important part. Because obviously, as you know, just gathering herbs for herb lore takes so long. Is it 8 that's the killer? I mean, the boots can drop at sort of any wave before or after 3, or is it 4? God, this run just doesn't end. It's fantastic. Keep on supplying me. Yeah, the boots seem kind of wild. I mean, fortunately I do have the Rangers, but getting the... I'd have to have Cerberus to then get all the other boots, like the Pegasians, etc. Ow. But the Avernic Treads are such a nice addition to the game. Just not having to swap constantly for boots is... and you never really had to swap, right? It wasn't the end of the world. But if you have a best-in-slot item like a boot, then you might as well use it. And this just makes that combination of the boots a bit nicer. Yeah, if there's one thing this account has in an abundance, it is Ranger boots. And perhaps that's why I get punished in other elements of RNG. That made me jump for a second. Another hard clue scroll. We have 18 minutes on the other one before we have to go rejuggle. But hopefully it's doable. Are all of the crystals the same drop rate? It's like a 1 in 600? 500? Maybe less. $5.12, okay. Yeah, so the Smouldering Stone is the one that you use for turning the pickaxe into an Infernal Pick, right? Which has a chance to smelt the stone. But then I think you lose the pickaxe. So I guess if you've got a ton of disposable picks, then you can slap one of those on. More U-seeds, 4 in the invent. Lovely. Oh my, yeah, that's an insane log. See, that's the thing. If you look at the overarching of your account, because I know you said it was 900 for your first Zenite, and then it balanced out a bit. But then if you look at your Surblock, technically, other people would go absolutely insane to get a pet of that drop. Like the fact that I went 9,750 kills for Scarius, you could look at as a bad thing. But then out of that, I have now 6 pairs of Ranger boots. So technically, the luck was just elsewhere. Right, time to reshuffle these clues on the floor. Yeah, see, I wouldn't change a single thing about how this account's gone in the grand scheme of things. Like, yeah, some of the grinds did put me into some sort of state of psychosis, but the XP from Scarius just propelled me basically to end game melee stats. Right, is this one doable? Rogue's Den, it is indeed. To the old drop and shuffle. It was that. There was also 240 mediums from Scarius as well, I believe. Ish. So the log on clues, at least, is looking pretty ridiculous. I'm excited to get these done as well. When I open these, hoping for some good hard clue luck. Because when we start opening the hards as well, I think we are in the territory for more gilded pieces. And we could be pulling some third age. Obviously an incredibly slim chance, but it just means that is now as an option. But the 3 hard clues we've opened and the 1 log means that we're going to get maybe 10 logs from 20 clues, just because we haven't got anything yet. So I'm going to guess there's about 10 collection logs waiting to be picked up there. And the closer we get to 500 is the next staff as well, I believe, right? Can't remember how you check out the staffs. Oh, there you go, the overview. So yeah, we're on our way to the steel collection log staff, which is kind of cool. I think the beautiful thing about this account is that it's going to take a while, but I reckon that we will hit a gilded staff on the basis there are certain grinds that suck that other people aren't doing because they suck so bad, but we are forced to do due to RNG. So for instance, getting the Temporos pet, some people would just not go for that. I think it's mainly pets, because there's alternative ways to get certain things, like the Dragon Axe. Obviously, the smart way to get a Dragon Axe is to go down to the Dagonoths, as the drop rate there is much more favourable than doing Wintertodt. Dragon Harpoon, you would go and do Worms, I believe, or you kind of just passively get it from Worms. Maybe it is mainly pets. I don't think there's any logs that are worse than pet logs. When I say worse, I mean more or less desirable to go for. Unless anyone can think of any. That was a horrific grind that people just don't want to do. Sharks. That Corp Beast probably isn't up there on the priority list of things to do for people. So hunting for any of the spirit sigils, I reckon they're not particularly easy to get your hands on. Oh yeah, the Dragon Forehelm. Yeah, that one's rough. But isn't there's a kind of weird way you have to go about it, right? You have to go kill dragons to get the chewed bones to then burn them. And the bones drop at like a 1 in... Let's just say 1 in 100. It probably isn't 1 in 100. But they drop in like a certain rate. And then there's a rate once you burn the bones also. So anything that sort of double dips into RNG is a bit rough. Yeah, clues as well. Like doing clues en masse to get a green log in any of those is kind of crazy. I mean, one day we'll be there. We are going to be Unk sitting in the rocking chair saying, I remember back in my day when clues weren't this easy to get. Shaft. I think the difference is with clues as well, though, isn't it? It's if you're a main account, you can kind of bypass certain things by just buying the impling jars, and then you make a combination for like a master casket. Whereas on a Iron Man, you can't really do that. I mean, I'm sure you could go and collect a ton of the different type of imps that you need and just bank them for like a big session, but I don't know. That doesn't sound particularly fun. In the grand scheme of things. Yeah, clues is also like a bit of a gacha machine, isn't it? Is it gacha? Is that how you say it? Where you just put in a bit of time and effort, you get yourself a casket, and then crack it open. It's like gambling light. Although if you're very serious as an Iron Man about collecting clues, there are various methods you can do. They do require you to be like basically a late game, almost fully geared character. But there are methods. Like the Venator Bow jelly hunting method looks insane. You just pitch up down there with a Venator Bow, start pinging jellies, and the hard clues rain. And then at the same time, if you get enough totem tops and stuff like that, you then also can get yourself access to Skitizo, which then means you're guaranteed more clues, or at least one hard clue and then some elites. So kind of it feeds into itself quite nicely. Been noticing a lot more things clipping through the floor at the moment, and I don't know why. But those diamonds basically just disappeared under the floor. Yeah, sailing clogs are, I mean, they're pretty cool as well, though. I like when there's a ton of variants to get your logs, and it's not just the same thing on repeat. Which is ironic, obviously, playing this kind of account, but... now you can go and do some trawling, and then if you fancy it, you can go do the speed races, and then mix it up with some fishing, or go kill specific mobs for the other paint drops and stuff. Loads to do. I do find it's difficult to convert people to playing RuneScape, though, if they just see like certain aspects of when I play it. I've been trying to convince a couple of friends to play over the years. They've kind of given up now, and I understand it's not for them. Or they've tried it and it wasn't for them as well. But when you explain to them there's so much stuff to actually do, and they're like, so like, well, what does that mean? You're like, well, technically it's repetitive grinds, but just a ton of different repetitive grinds. Some people get really put off by that. Or, like most of us, it tickles that part of the brain that just makes you want to go and bang your head against the wall for multiple hours a day. Or it's just like a longer term goal. It doesn't have to be all be done in one day. You know, chip away at something for a couple of months, and then that feeling you get when you finally get the thing you're looking for. It's that sense of accomplishment that not a lot of other games seem to have, in my opinion. Now, WoW used to have it, and then it became a bit of a seasonal game. Getting absolutely pummeled by this guy. Wallop. Vride, what's your most feared collection to go for? Is there anyone that you're putting off for pretty much... I mean, one you might not even ever go for? Or is there one that you really want that you're sort of on the fence about getting? Like, I think Barrows, for instance, I didn't expect it to be as bad of a grind as it was. And it wasn't a difficult grind by any means. It was just the constant getting of the same few drops again and again when you're looking for one thing in particular was a little bit spooky. Oh. Did I drop anything? I got a Ring of Wealth on? I do, so that was gold. Cool. Yeah, exactly. There's so much you can do when you're playing, and you can split it up week by week. You can say, I want to do this. Well, I guess that's the collection logs. It depends on your sort of overarching want for the game. But yeah, being able to just sort of mix it up and go do different stuff. Skilling especially. AFK skilling is such a nice thing to be able to do when you're playing other games. I just go hit that tree. You want to chill out, play a different game, get engaged in something else. If none of your mates are playing RuneScape at the time, just go pitch up, do some fishing. Yes, another supply. Tell you what, the people that actually scare me in this game, though, are the ones that go for 200 mil all. I'm a little worried about them. But I guess that is technically ultimate completion, right? 200 mil, full collection log, Grandmaster. And then you can retire. So you might be locked in for a while. Default into some rooftops. Yeah. I mean, rooftops are relatively engaged, though, in the grand scheme of things, right? I'm out of touch. I haven't done them in so long. I haven't done them in 120 IRL days of playtime. So they feel like a bit of a distant memory. Wolf weed, okay. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? One small favor. I mean, that is like playing an IMO, and one small favor in anything you do. If you wanted to do farming, you have to go get your seeds first, and then once you've got your seeds, you can go plant them, and then you need to get your ultra compost to then make sure they don't die. And the cycle continues. Yeah, I mean, work schedule is usually the main thing you got to watch out for, right? And it depends on how much you can AFK on your phone or something whilst you're doing other bits. But for instance, sandstone mining is more hands-on than you'd think, because obviously you've got to continually click on rocks and then drop them off as you go and just keep sort of chipping away like that. You can't just, like amethyst mining, you can kind of just click a wall and then let it do its thing. 5th albatross feather, congrats. Nearly rebuilt the ship. I have a sneaking suspicion that by the time we finish this as well, we're going to have enough lore runes to build out a full nexus. I don't know if it was 80,000 lore runes. We had quite a few already, but they drop them in fairly high drop rates and a good amount each time. When you're AFK skilling, you felt like you were had to be doing something else. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, if you're looking to max the account, if you're already maxed, then I guess there's nothing you really have to do. If you aren't yet maxed, you always just chip away at one of those skills that isn't 99. In whatever capacity that is, like crafting. Fishing seems to be one that everyone hates. As a 99 fishing haver, I don't see what the fuss is about, you know? Just go do... $17,000 permits at Temporos. No worries, right, mate. have a good meeting. And fingers crossed we get some drops. More gold. Now, I don't know if I want to spoon all 4 Zenites early, or if I want that to be sort of the anticipation of the last couple of things. I guess if I get all 4 of them, then it covers me for the stipulation of going and buying my onyxes, though, so maybe it would be nice to get them straight away. Because then I could even go buy the onyxes in preparation. I need to look into how many chaos runes it costs to buy a onyx from the shop. Convert it into toggle. Because I'm pretty sure I've got enough. I can definitely buy a few. But I don't know if I can buy all 4. I think it starts to get quite expensive. Especially without the Karamja gloves. Bill, what are you prepping your ship for, by the way? Were you looking to switch it up to do some different grinds, or did you actually just accidentally remove it and then this is now rectifying that mistake? Okay, not bad. Keep those brews coming. We're going to be sorted for Song of the Elves when we get it. With all these sour brews we're picking up. I've seen people doing like Phoenix necklace skips and stuff for the HP. And it just looks terrifying. If you mess that up, you're just dead. Whereas if you eat up, obviously you're a bit safer. still haven't quite calculated how many prayer pots per full task I'm using up. Because it's 5 prayer pots per trip I come down with. And then obviously that gets extended if more resupplies drop. If I'm getting roughly 15 kills a trip, maybe just under. Once again, it kind of depends. We are burning through them. What's the total loot value saying? Okay. In just the room plate legs and room plate skirts, we have 2 mil in alks. So the cash stack is growing very, very nicely. Should shuffle these while I'm up here. Currently on kill 486. So in 14 more KC, we technically should see a light frame. Nope, ballista limbs, even. If we're going on rate. Oh yeah, so I have been doing some whimsy in IRL, and there is this Ren fair that is relatively close to where I live. I've been the previous year. There's a bunch of jousting and stuff like that that goes on, medieval stalls, things like that. But this year your boy's dressing up, because when we went, it was myself and my partner. We were just having a look, having a little look around, seeing what was going on. We didn't expect everyone to be dressed up. We just thought it was kind of a small scale thing. Because we looked at the pictures and obviously there were people dressed up on the site, but you don't think everyone's going to be doing it. And then we rock up and everyone's in sort of full get-up. And I'd say over half of the people that attended were in full makeup and full costume. So we're like, right, when we come back next year, which is this year, we're going to have to up our game a bit. So I've been on a bit of a madness, and I've put together a costume. Now, originally I was going to go for a bit of a meme costume, and I was going to dress up as the Elder Gnome Child. But I decided against that, and I've gone for a ranger-looking thing. I'll bust out one of the van braces in a second. But it actually looks pretty good, in my opinion. And you can always rewear a costume, you know? Could be a Halloween thing, could be the next Ren Fair. Or you make a medieval room in your house. There you go. There's an enjoyer of the medieval stuff. A collector of weaponry. Afternoon, Grizmate. How you doing? Just talking about shenanigans and a costume that I'm putting together. Let me bust out one of the van braces. Hang on. And it's not bad. So that goes together with, there's obviously a set of them, and then there's a belt, a nice cloak. I'm just in the process of trying to make a bow. And now I'm not a woodworker by any stretch, but I reckon I can make a bow. I've made a bow before as a kid, but that was a bamboo bow. And then I subsequently got shot in the head and sent to hospital with an arrow in my head. But that is part and parcel of making your own homemade weaponry, apparently. Ill-advised, do not do it. It was fun, though. Yeah, so I'm doing a Ren Fair at the end of August, I think. I can't remember when it is. But there's a Ren Fair, and everyone there last year was dressed up, and I wasn't. So now, this time, I will be dressing up also. Yeah, the arrow to the head didn't do me any favors, as you can tell. I mean, it does explain a lot. So when you watch me stumble over things, you'll be like, ah, it's alright, he did take an arrow to the head. Makes a lot of sense. I'm not going in chainmail. I'm going in a sort of Ranger leather setup type thing. However, my missus is getting full plate mail, which should be kind of cool. She's going to look like a paladin with the pauldrons, leg guards, all that good stuff. Just last year it was about 29 degrees and I got severe heat stroke because, well, we were out in a field. And I didn't think to bring sun cream. But this time we will be prepared better. So full plate mail is a very brave choice. I think it's going to look sick. There's going to be quite a big group of us going, I think, actually. I think there's about 7 or 8 of us that are fancying it. But this is going to be their first one, and we said, you should probably just get a costume and come along. It is down in the south. Near Lockswood. It's not a massive event, but it is quite cool. You do have the weapons. However, you can't bring... you wouldn't be able to bring actual metal weapons with you. I think that would definitely cross some sort of health and safety standards. But you can make some foam ones. Or bring your godsword. Yeah, exactly. But there are a bunch of people doing... it's like medieval MMA. Obviously, they were using weapons as well. But they're fully dressed up and they're just smacking the piss out of each other. Which in 28-degree heat looked awful. They've got padded cuirasses on, they've got full plate mail, all the protective gear on. And you're doing physical fighting. So apparently that's a relatively big thing up in the north. When I say relatively big, there's schools up in the north that you can go to. Where you get to do medieval MMA. I think actually Nottingham's got a few. I don't know why Northerners are more predisposed to medieval costume fighting. But they seem to be. .8 hours later, what's that? Is that like the prequel to 28 Days Later? Getting hammered by stones, not changing my prayers. Whoops. That sounds like it could be kind of sick, though. Is it like a big zone they sort of block off, and then you get to run around getting chased by zombies and stuff? Okay, that's kind of sick. Yeah, zombie survival stuff's always been quite interesting to me. I don't know if I'd partake, though. Maybe I'd watch. Could be a zombie cuck sitting there just watching everyone get chased. Plus, I don't really run. I'm a very stationary individual. I lift things up and put them back down, but yeah, I don't do any cardio, so I'd get eaten straight away. Could always be a diversion, though. Whatever do you mean, Pixamate? That's just average British activities right there. And you just know for a fact at the end of it, there's going to be a pub crawl. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Zombie after party. Get to hang out with the zombies that tried to eat you. Make some friends. Pixar, do you have pub crawls where you're from? Is that like a standard thing? Oh, yes, 21 in America. I completely forgot. Yeah. Unfortunate. Although maybe that's a good thing. Maybe us Brits need to adopt that method. Let's be honest. See, it's one of those things that as you get older, you'd be like, yeah, you should definitely up that age to 21 now for drinking. But that's because obviously we didn't have to. Yeah, exactly. In the UK. I mean, you say it didn't do any harm, Grizz. See how you turned out, mate. I guess the same thing can be said for me, but... Yeah, the UK is not exactly a bastion of ideals for that kind of stuff. Because, yeah, the drinking age in the UK is 18, but most people drink from a lot younger. And nobody cares. You go to a corner shop and you want to buy something, you can. Especially in London. London, no one gives like two shits. They're like, just do what you want. That's because it's such a big city as well. You can still be young at heart, Grizz, you know? You can have unk status whilst also being free-spirited and still young at heart. Don't forget that. Okay, yeah. Barring the fact your vertebrae may give out on you. That beam got me again. Okay, another hard clue. We take those. We're close to a prayer level. We are close to a slayer level also, which is nice. I mean, when you think about it, rugby is a pretty gnarly sport. Compare it to the NFL. And obviously the padding in the NFL does make them hit each other harder because there's like a sense of... There's a false sense of security. where you think, oh, because I've got padding, it's not going to be so bad. But then you watch these guys that weigh like 150 kg just smash into each other, doing like jumping tackles. And I guess we understand why they get so messed up. But in rugby, obviously, there's no padding. It's just shoulder to shoulder or head to shoulder, smashing into someone full force. And that's the goal, to have the legs the same size as a professional rugby players. That's what we're aiming for here, boys. We've got to be sturdy. I mean, lots of squats, lots of leg accessories. Exactly. You need a solid base and foundation. And plus, the more active you stay when you're younger, the easier life is when you're older. I think everyone, to the whatever capacity they can do it, should do some kind of weight training. Just so your bones are less brittle and you don't break yourself when you fall over. I don't know, Grizmo. I think you got a round 2 in you somewhere. I believe. See if we can add this hard clue to the doable stack. I hope we can. Grizmo, it's one of those things that if you did it back in the day, you've never really lost it. So I reckon with a little bit of extra perseverance, you've got it, mate. I believe in you. Personally, I find the hardest thing is the motivation to train on your own. Having someone else to be there and push you along does help massively. Having a training partner or something. Yeah, but you don't have to do anything that's shoulder loaded particularly, right? You could do leg press, leg extensions, hamstring curls. You could do light lat pull downs, curls, tricep stuff. And that's just me chatting absolute shit here. Your shoulder may be unable to do anything. And if it is, don't do anything. I'm not a medical professional. I point cameras at things, and that's my job. So yeah, obviously take care of your shoulder however you've been told to do it. But there's always other bits you could do. You could just have like incredibly yoke tree trunk legs and then let your upper body get really small. So you'd be like a reverse standard gym goer. Because everyone's got the Dorito, like broad shoulders and tiny little legs. But you could be the opposite. You could have absolutely insanely big legs, but then let your upper body get smaller. See, Reinfest already stupidly broad. Yes, sir. Yeah, the upside down triangle was the it's the new fad, new fashion. Okay, we're starting this trip at 177 KC. Oh, I missed it. Right, well, that was 501 kill count. So at 500 kills, we should have seen 1 Ballista Spring, 1 Ballista Limbs, and 1 Zenite. We're doing better than that at the moment. We have the Ballista Springs, we have 2 Zenites. We do not yet have the limbs. What am I waffling about? Yeah, Light Frame's one in 750, Ballista Springs 1 in 500, and so the other one. So we should hopefully see that soon, and then we'll be ahead on drop rate with the Zenites. And then I guess technically we won't be seeing anything for quite a while. Based on averages. I put the coins down here. Okay, let's have a look. So, apparently there's 500 gorilla kills exactly. Tracker says 502, but maybe that was from the quest beforehand. So dead on 500. And the log is looking like so. We've got 2 Zenites so far, 1 Ballista Spring. We should see Ballista Limbs also at this drop rate. And then in 250 more, we should see the Light Frame. Then it's the Heavy Frame and the Monkey Tail, which are the spooky ones at the 1 in 1.5k. So technically, we are absolutely fine at the moment. We are beating the drop rate. We just got to hope we continue on that. If we do, fantastic. If we don't, we'll be here for a while. But that is also 1/3 of the theoretical drop rate for every single item on that log. So we just need to do as many kills as we've done 2 more times. And that's not too bad. That's not too spooky. Supply-wise, we are still absolutely fine, so it's not like we're going to run out. Slayer points-wise, we may do. As we have 690 points to play with. If we get more mutated Zygomites, I swear to God. I think it just gave me a little bit of a springboard on the RNG. So it's not used up. Because we're still not on rate yet. Oh, Pixamate, it was diabolical. Like the I got, I think it was 4 or 5 mutated Zygomite tasks in 10 skips or something, and they're weighted at a 2. So I really shouldn't be seeing those. We did have to use a few points to block, so maybe that's where some of it went also. We blocked Metal Dragons, which was needed, and I think I blocked Calfights as well. Or Dagonoths, I think it was, because they were relatively highly weighted also. So yeah, we did use 200 points on blocks, but even so, The other 1,000 that we basically burned through was just hunting 2 Black Demon tasks. So that wasn't great. But it's all right. This double set of tasks is going to take us close to the 1k KC mark. So as long as we don't go stupidly dry, we should be fine. And as I said, this is similar to Scurry's situation where there are a bunch of really good drops that come alongside this. So we're fine. This is a supply burner in terms of prayer pots, but it is a money gainer. And if you count the Sarah Brews, it's a gainer as well. Yeah, I mean, when you put it like that, it's quite depressing. But when you ignore that fact, it's not terrible, right? When you huff the copium, it's not too bad. As I said, Pixar, look at it this way. This is funding our construction cape. Because I thought about this the other day, right? Obviously, the RNG nature of how I tackle grinds can be problematic. And I was thinking, if I'm going to 99 construction when I roll Mahogany Homes, if I didn't already have the cash stacked up for that, I would then have to go and generate all of that cash before I could then start turning logs into planks. So then I'd probably have to go and spend like 100 hours or quite a few hours doing something else that wasn't the task itself just to get the cash. But this way, as long as the next task I get before that doesn't burn through all my cash, we don't have to do that. Big. What method are you using to get your Slayer points, Pixar? Are you doing the every 10th task go to Kona? Or are you just raw dogging your way through? Okay, that's fair. I mean, Konar is the way to go if you want to get extra supplies. Obviously, those brimstone keys are fantastic. I would have quite liked to have done it that way, but obviously the chance of getting assigned stuff in the catacombs is just too high for me. But Konar's fantastic. Oops. I don't even know what these guys' max hit is. That was a 30 and it wasn't a max hit. How far off a Slayer level are we? 4k XP off of 73 Slayer, and then it's 2 levels till we unlock Gargoyles. Which then they will start popping up in our task skipping. The only thing is, do I then do Gargoyles as a task for cash? I was doing Smoke Devils, just because they're really easy to burst and they're super fast to chuck in if you get one. Gargoyles probably not as much. Yeah, when is it in the quest line that Duradel dies? I can't actually remember. Like a bunch of Slayer Masters die throughout the sort of completion of a bunch of hard quests. Yeah, I do apologise for the spoilers there. If you haven't got your quest cape yet, close your ears. People out here dying left, right and centre. Ew. Sometimes you got to let a hero die, you know? You got to make the quest more meaningful by taking out someone you love. Ooh. Predicted. Okay, 9 more gorilla kills and then we get a Slayer level. The Slayer XP has been pretty darn good. You know, 408 per kill. Not to be sniffed at. Oh, Dragon Metal Sheets. Get in there. Because if the random NPC from the Warriors Guild didn't survive, then, you know, maybe, think about it, maybe that NPC is going to be part of the future quests. Maybe they've got hidden lore. They might turn out to be absolutely goated. Well, there's a guy in there that sells stew. And, you know, to some people, that's not very impressive, but to someone that's trying to stew boost, not having to make your own stew and get in there is kind of monumental. Just saying. How is the woodcutting level looking at the moment? Okay, you're definitely going to win this then, yeah, for sure. I think the problem is the RNG grinds tend not to be particularly favourable. But if you're doing one that is like a guaranteed after a set amount of time, then that's always a nice one. A fletching enjoyer as well. Okay. We'll try a food tank our way through another couple kills. We'll just do overheads without any combat boosting. Inferno as a concept seems terrifying. I mean, I'm sure once you get the hang of the like how the waves play out, then it's not so bad. But I've never even attempted it, so it gives me a similar sense of dread that Colosseum does. I guess the only thing is on a hardcore Inferno, you can get multiple attempts down there. It doesn't matter if you die, right? But Colosseum is a dangerous death. Oh, the green text Snapdragon seeds. Don't be green texting me like that. I'm pretty sure that the frames when they drop are also going to be green text. Because they're not a particularly expensive drop, so they're not going to be orange beamed or anything. So, yeah, green text, bad. Dragon fruit seeds is also green text, which we've seen a few times. So you just have to hold my horses until I see the collection log box drop down from the top. Remain unbaitable. Have you got your Inferno cape as well then? How long did it take you to nab that one? I just feel like it's going to be so intense on supplies that learning it might be quite rough. Like, there are definitely a couple of grinds I would like to have had banged out before Inferno comes along. playing with fire a bit there, just seeing how hard he hit. Turns out harder than I do. Oh, prayer resupply. Okay. We'll stay. Nice. Took me 2 to 3 weeks, not that bad. 8th Zuck attempt. Damn, okay. See, that sounds good to me, though. Did you do any of the simulator stuff beforehand? Or did you just go in and just get it done? Get the job done, did? Because I saw there's a couple of simulators that you can do. Maybe I'll have to study Gnome Monkey and see what he says. Because I know that man is an absolute demon when it comes to Inferno. Good afternoon, Poet, my friend. How are you doing? It may be. It is a powerful grind indeed. The Wi-Fi may not be able to handle it. On the plus side, you haven't missed anything as of yet. It's been pretty... Well, it has been pretty chill, pretty quiet. We are now slightly above drop rate for one of the things, but that's okay. Overall, we're still doing good as far as the logs go. So now we just got to see if the RNG continues to be good and if we get another clog today. I reckon we might, because we're now approaching average drops for some of the stuff. Other than that, I took the dog to get a groom today. So he's going to come back looking primp and proper. Or prim and proper. I hope today is the day. I hope so. The only thing is, I need to clear these clues off the floor. Maybe by today. Try and get them all done. Because I can't super glass make comfortably whilst also juggling clues, because it's such an AFK activity. It's very easy to get distracted and just sort of turn your brain off. And I don't want those clues to despawn, especially the elite. Good afternoon, Dank, my friend. How's it going on this fine Wednesday? Also, good news, as of, I guess, 2 weeks' time, I'll be more on your sort of time schedule as well, Dank. In terms of, I know you're sort of around in the mornings and then not after. I'm shifting my training to basically 7 in the morning. So I'll be around earlier, and we may actually cross paths a bit more. Which is a good or bad thing for you, depending on how you look at it. You have to put up with me more. No one to avoid. It's the current place that I'm at is kind of class based, and because they have so many classes on 24/7, it means most of the racks and all the free weights and stuff are being used up by PTs, and it's just kind of becoming a pain to make my entire session fit around what they're doing. It just isn't like you're paying sort of 50 quid a month for a gym. You want to be able to use the gym without having to play around with all those timings. Ooh, Diamondes. So yeah, time for a change of scenery. Move over to a slightly better time-suited training place. Let's shuffle the clues. Yeah, dang, trust me, it's insane. I don't understand what they're thinking, to be honest with you. It's such a pain in the ass. And they don't seem to see it as a problem, which is why it's better just to leave, because we've had this discussion with management and been like, you know, what is the point of us paying such a premium to be at this gym and then not be able to use the kit for multiple hours in the day because you're running sort of back-to-back classes. Because it's like there's a fitness area that has 12 racks, which is fantastic. Obviously, that was the draw to the gym in the first place. But if every class you do, and if you're doing push-ups in the racks and curls in the racks and stuff for your class, no bueno. Just don't do that. But what can you do? You can complain or you can move on. Or both, which is, I guess, what I just did then. Double whammy. Ooh, 52. Sit. That was 73 Slayer. It flashed up and disappeared super quick, unfortunately. But we are now 2 levels away from getting our hands on gargoyles. And obviously that's not massively important for now because we are going to skip them every time we see them. But that will mean that both Dusk and Dawn are getting close to being put on that wheel. And this is what we were hoping for. Slayer was kind of a massive pain in the arse, so this grind has burst Slayer wide open. It's going to put us in a much closer position to get into sort of the 80s. Obviously, the best bosses are sitting around the 90 mark. We're not there yet, but we are closer. That is now, yeah, 4 levels on Monkey Madness 2 gave a big chunk as well, but Demonic Gorillas plus the quest reward from Monkey Madness 2 has bumped us up to 73. I'll be able to do a calculation as well at the end of exactly how much Slayer XP I gained at the start of this grind to the end, which will be quite cool to see. I think the average task is giving me 86k Slayer XP. Because it is 408 XP per kill, and then I'm getting an average of, well, around 200 Demonic Gorillas per task. Slightly more. Are you still caning Elden Ring at the moment, Dank? More sharks, okay. Have you managed to convince Ram to play with you yet, or no? It does look pretty good. Okay, nice. Is it maxed of max team size of 3, or can you get 4 in there? Boo. More sharks, damn. Trying to get too fancy with my combos and my quick switches there. Proving how bad my clicks are when I do stuff like that. That is true. We are suffering from success in terms of supply drops here. Give me more. I'll have a little look at it because it did look fun watching you play a bit. Keep your peepers peeled. So I never really played, I didn't play GTA 5 at all. It's not really my cup of tea. It looks alright, but at the same time, I don't know, I never really grew up playing the GTA games. I played San Andreas, that was about it. But yeah, I was never particularly into it. Fun games. I wouldn't go out my way to play it. I feel like GTA 6 is going to be kind of a gaming history moment though, so maybe I will play it for that. It's been so hyped, and you know, apparently all of the systems they're putting in there are going to be insane. So maybe just for that. To take part in the gaming history that is going to be GTA 6, I might give it a crack. Oh, was that for Switch 2? Yeah, they had the, what was it? They had the Treehouse and Nintendo release thing, didn't they? See, unfortunately, I never really played the... I wasn't a massive Nintendo kid either. Like, I'm very surprised that turned out the way I did, right? Because back in the day, I was a League of Legends and World of Warcraft neckbeard gamer. And I think, considering I've turned out with a relatively calm temperament, I'm quite surprised. Afternoon, Pad, my friend. It is going A-OK. We are chipping through the demonics. Slowly but surely, getting towards some big KCs. We're 1/3 of the way there now. So it's not too bad. And afternoon movie as well. Yeah, it's one of those ones that is, I don't know. I played Call of Duty Online, I played League of Legends, and I played World of Warcraft. And I feel like it kind of forged me in the fire a little bit, you know? In those lobbies, you either crumbled or you got tough. And you either became a very bitter, angry person, or the opposite. You learned that most people are just very angry at other things in their life, and gaming is one of the places they come to take that anger out on others. So when that Yasuo runs it down mid, even though you've had a fantastic game, got nothing to do with you. That guy definitely didn't get the promotion at work that he was looking for. I didn't play Fable either. Kind of a poor excuse for a gamer, to be honest with you. I played my niche game, my niche and not niche, you know. I think I just got so locked. I mean, as you've seen with RuneScape, once I play a game, I get so locked into it that just becomes the sort of game obsession of that era. So I didn't really dabble in other games once I was locked into one that I liked. Exactly. Yeah, you're playing Yas because you didn't get the promotion. Or they found out you play Yas and then you didn't get the promotion. Kind of goes hand in hand. Supplies. Were there any other games on the Nintendo launch that you were interested in? Want to get back into Ranked League? Are you unwell, Dank? I mean, I can carry you through some games. That's fine by me. And by carry, I mean sit passively in the bot lane while you run around on that dog character. Whose name I've completely forgotten already. Zenites, I mean Pad, we had an absolute stinker of a start. That's the one, Neferi. Which is a good champ. Yeah, we started off fantastic with 2 Zenites early and the Ballista Springs. And it's been 380 kills now without anything. But that's okay. I'll show you the log in a second. Here we go. So that's what we're looking like. 526 KC, 2 Zenite Shards, and a Ballista Spring. So we're going to get 4 of these. So we need 2 more. And we're doing okay so far. We should see the Ballista Limbs soon. If we go on rate for them. We're slightly over on them at the moment, but as I said, doesn't matter. Yeah, Switch Sport is going to be interesting. What about that rhythm game as well? That rhythm game looks interesting. I reckon that's kind of the right brand of autism for me. I think I'd be surprisingly good at that one. Now, Grizz, do you hate League because you are easily baited by other people doing stupid things? Or do you just hate the mechanics of it in general? Yeah, the rhythm game looks like it's got good vibes written all over it. As I said, Grizz, that is where you are either forged in the fires or you come out stinking a BO and angry. But yeah, I mean, the general community wasn't great back in the day. It's better now. But I think that's because the community of people that played League have grown up with the game. So as people's frontal lobes started to form a bit more, they have now become a little bit more chill. I mean, I guess it's the same with games like RuneScape to a degree, right? If you played back in the day, and let's say you were PKing, I reckon there were a couple of toxic individuals out there that would trash talk everyone, get super in their face and upset and rage out when they lost. And you'd like to think now, as your brain is developed, that you can process your emotions a bit better and you don't have to crash out. But who knows? Actually, to be fair, the star mining chat is freaky. Those people need to be monitored for sure. I mean, in all honesty, that's why I prefer games like OSRS, because you don't have to play with anyone. Like, to get the full functionality of this game, you do not have to interact with another player. You can see them out in the world, and you can have a bunch of stuff happen, you know, as you run past people, interactions, etc. PKing, you have interactions if you choose to. But yeah, the whole thing is just something you can go and do on your own. You're not waiting for anyone else. You're not relying on anyone else. If you play League, obviously you are relying on 4 other players to play the game. And I think that triggers people more than anything. The fact that you can be held hostage, you know? Yeah, exactly. Like, back in the day as well, depending on when you played it, people were just savages. If you make a mistake, they're going to shout at you. Exactly, deserved. You had it coming, is what I'm hearing. It's like when I was playing Overwatch for a while, and I got into... I need to check the leaderboards. I'm pretty sure I was in the top 500, and I did play support, so take it with a pinch of salt. But the top 500 players on EU. But it wasn't as big back then either, so I don't think the player base was as good as they are now. But that was an incredibly toxic community because there's voice chat. But it does also get kind of fun. As long as you're not the direct target of the abuse, just listening to 2 really angry people shouting at each other, it can be kind of funny. You just bust out the popcorn, sit back and listen. Yeah, as I said, there's no, like, when it comes to online games, as you know, people just, whatever's going wrong or right in their day, they will take out on a stranger on the internet. That's just poor emotional regulation. Because it's just as easy to be kind to someone as it is to be mean. I think, at least. So basically what I'm hearing is, Lulu, you were just going around terrorizing people by being bad at the game, rage baiting them into shouting at you, you know? Yeah, Grizz, with the caps on there, I'm not sure about that one. That's given the I'm a nice guy vibe, you know? Where if you have to proclaim you're nice at it in all caps, it brings up the doubt button. Yeah, but like, it is easy to be kind to people. Yeah. Yeah, true. I can tell that the League shaped you in some way as well. Just, you may have gone the opposite way. Putting a bounty on my head is quite a spooky one. It's just a small reminder, there is a 1 billion bounty on Oats' head. I mean, the day that that gets claimed is going to be a sad day for Grizz's bank account, an even sadder day for me. Or, if I just die to a boss first, then no one gets a bill. So maybe it's, you know, a tactical death. See, I can use that as a excuse. When I do something really stupid on a boss and die, I can be like, no, I only did that so that someone didn't get a bill bounty off me. Sorry, I've got that excuse banked up. But I feel like since we're over the hump of the 2k total level as well, surely we've got to hit 2200 before we die. Oh, more prayer pots. Yeah, exactly, Dang. That's one of those ones. Or you want 50-50 for me. If I die a boss, you get 50%, huh? Pix is waiting. He's going to, every time there's even a sniff at the wilderness, he'll be there. So I'll be like, hi boys, we've got a wildy task. Who's going to help me out? I'm going to have to blacklist Pixar and say, you're not going to be there. Although at this point, Grizz might just assassinate me and keep the bill. So the fear factor goes up when we do roll a wildy task. I just have to remember not to mention the bill on the wheel spin section of the video. Because that's when the hunters might start actually coming. I mean, a bill's not, as Grizz said, not crazy, but that is a year's membership in bonds. And I'd say that's pretty good. That's the equivalent of 90 quid these days. 3 years, sorry. Okay, that's definitely a lot then. Because an annual membership at the moment, what? It's gone up to... Is it 90 quid a year? So yeah, 270 quid-ish. Don't think my my life's worth that much. Morning, Blizz, my friend. How's it going? Congrats on the Zealot robe set. 713 redwoods is quite a few. I think that's just over what I did. Maybe just under. I looked the other day because someone was asking. It might have even been you. My memory is not fantastic. But someone was asking about it. Basically just playing a perpetual game of rock, paper, scissors with these guys. If you think about it. So we're just constantly swapping attack styles and prayers and stuff. To be fair, I think most of my bank value is tied up in ranger boots. But let's not forget, right? There is also a 1 million GP white bead stack sitting in my bank. I know. I know. It could have been way more as well if I just picked up the picked up more beads. Hold off on this till summer sweep up? Hell no. This is the small problem is it's going to be a lot easier, but at the same time, I doesn't make that much difference to me in the grand scheme of things. Like, all it means is less swaps, but if anything, I actually need the practice. Because though the swaps aren't exactly high stakes here, like, you'll take a 30 if you're doing it wrong, but just like that, realistically, a quick set of swaps to get in just makes me a better player. And it's such a marginal, low-risk situation to do it in that, you know, for me, it's just going to be a increase in speed. But that could translate to being slightly better at quick flicks later on. Because, I mean, Scurrius basically put my brain to sleep. And I don't think I've ever woken up since then. The eternal slumber has been potent. Like, if you put me in against something like the Gauntlet now, I think I'd crumble. Teak seeds? Don't give me that. It would take me like four or five warm-ups to get back into the flow of it, but this just keeps me a little bit more sharp. Plus, once this demonic gorilla grind is actually over and we are done with all of the logs, there is the small task of also getting 93 crafting. And now I do have a good amount banked. I've been a busy bee. I'm now in the process of actually turning a lot of giant seaweed and sand into molten glass to then blow. But it just takes a long old time. Whoops. Okay, we won't risk another kill just in case things go a little bit sideways. We'll go juggle our clues, leave with our extra prayer pots. It's rare that we run out of food before prayer, which is nice. See, for me though, Dank, because I'm wearing Carol's, right? Don't I have a slightly higher chance of resisting the mage hit than the range hit? That was the thought process, at least. Because its magic defense is quite high. Oops. I'm sorry, bud. I did not mean to do that. I'm sure he deserved it on some level. Looking at me all shifty. Still looking A-OK on rune arrows. 42,000. No stress. I feel like whichever one I swap to, they tend to just do the opposite. They don't particularly like me. Let's have a little look at banked XP, shall we? If we go to crafting, once I've turned all of this seaweed into molten glass, and I blow it into... It's got to be lantern lenses, unfortunately. That is 89 crafting banked. So we're not doing terrible. Be 4 more levels, which is still a ton of sand and seaweed. But yeah, we've made a dent in it. We've collected resources. anytime I've not been actively doing guerrilla killing, I have been grinding out the necessaries. I felt like it took ages for him to swap, and then 2 melee swings, and he goes straight back to range. Be interesting to see how fast these guys actually die with the prayer lasting for a bit longer on them. I think there is a mechanic where the first one that you hit, if you're praying something against it, it tends to attack you with that style first. That could be complete placebo. But like if I go and hit this guy but pray range, he should attack me with range first. Let's have a look. This could be voodoo science here. I'm going to put range on and then I'm going to hit him. And then he attacks me with range. So you can kind of... I don't know if that's built into the mechanics, but it feels like you can almost predetermine the first hit. And then obviously step away and see what he does. But after this melee one, I'm going to pray range and step away. This is going to be mage now. Yeah. So you can kind of guide the first one. The rest of them seem to be completely random. Ooh, 52. Sit. I don't know why I'm toggling piety when shooting with the bow. There's got to be a drop coming soon. Mainly I just want to see that collection log pop up, you know? So typical used to range higher accuracy than mage. Do more mage because they're favorite. Okay. Well, I'll definitely give it a crack. As I said, the only reason I was doing it was the higher magic defense bonus. So I just assumed I'd get hit less. It almost feels like when they pull that rock out, the way they do it just, I don't know. I know there's no emotion behind it because it's an NPC, but... Lots of shark. So now it's going to mage, theoretically. Okay. As I said, he's... whenever we think we've got it down, it will switch. Whoopsie. And my sharks just disappeared. Right, let's see. Are you going to mage me? He did. And just so you know, confirmation bias always wins. More shark. Brother, I am so full of shark, I could not manage another bite. It's a good question, Storm. I think, right, that in this world, you should use your free will and whimsy to its maximum capacity. You should just observe and do things that make you happy. Even if other people say that's stupid, that shouldn't work. You go, well, it does for me. And unless you're like burning your hand repeatedly on a stove saying, no, this is fine, then you're all good. Right, so NPCs stop attacking you and escape at double +1 combat level than the NPC. See, I would have just thought they were scared of me, and I'm double hard. so they're not gonna mess around with me anymore. That would have been my thought process as I ate my crayons. Ooh, more prayer pots though. We like that. Did you put that down to there being the level gap, though? Or was it just you walked past and wondered why that thing wasn't hitting you anymore? And then you were like, oh, it has to be this. Like, I'm hoping with the nature of what I'm doing, I mean, enough people play this game to such a severe degree that I don't think I'll discover anything new. But with the extreme nature of what I'm doing, there is a chance that me spending X amount of time doing one thing does lead to somewhat of a discovery of a method or technique might then be used. Not impossible, but improbable. I mean, you watch people like Rendy doing insane stuff with level 3 characters. Fellow gorilla killer. Maybe it's time to switch off of these particular gorillas and move on to some other ones. That could be the play. More sharks. Maybe we need to relocate to these ones over by this pool. Let's do it. Let's give it a try. Because that's how it works, right? These ones here, all the luck's been used up on them. But these ones, fresh. Oops. Now, I do keep hitting redemption quite a lot when I'm going for piety. Which I guess isn't the worst thing to have up, because obviously it could save me, but... Grizz, I'll see it on the disc, mate. When we get a drop with these new ones in the next... I'll have to limit it, so obviously it's not... I do the whole grind here, and then I'm right. If we get one within... Should we say 15 kills? Then you've got to eat your shoe. I think that's perfectly fair and reasonable. I will also accept a cake in the shape of a shoe if you want to eat that instead. Might be a bit healthier. Or a piece of toast cut into the shape of a shoe will also be fine. As believe it or not, I do not want any real harm to befall you. Though it would be hilarious to watch you chewing on a shoe. Oi! He's sniping. He knows. He knows the tech. He's come over to actually take my my luck. Outrageous behavior. See, that one could have had a Zenite in it. How can I work under these conditions? Yeah, he can slowly work his way through a pair of clogs. I mean, he did recently get the beaver pet, so... Tag him in. I think if you wear clogs long enough, you produce cheese between your toes. That's what you're getting confused with there. Running out of space over here, though. It's the only problem. Termites for cheese mites. Yeah, yeah. As a non-cheese eater, you know, just I've forgotten. I've forgotten how the ecosystem around cheese works. Oh yeah, Dank, I don't know if I showed you, but my my Ren Fair costume arrived. And I'll show you the braces in a second. I showed earlier. It's looking alright for faux leather. Because your boy's not made of cheddar. I can't be spending hundreds of quid on LARPing gear. That's actually my secret. I'm actually 5'1". I just sit on a really high booster chair. But this is one of the van braces. It's actually not bad. It looks legitness. Yeah, true. Actually, I'll post the. Well, I didn't even post my my kitchen knife that I made. I don't think. I think it's because I realised that I looked like Winnie the Pooh with an apron on and shorts, and it wasn't my finest hour. I can post that as well. I'm definitely getting some pork roast. Or hog roast, I should say. And honey mead is there for sure. Okay, we've made pretty good headway into this task. So we started... This was a fresh task when I got down here. I had not killed a single one from this task. So this is actually a really good indicator of how long this takes to get X amount of kills. We started at 229. Oh, I was supposed to bring a slaughter. Okay. I will bring a slaughter on our next back. On the basis that we burned through 1,000 points looking for a Black Demon task. So anything we can do to extend it, we really should. Because if you're going to do me dirty like that, Duradel, then that's how it's going to have to be. Quick 3-minute break. True. How does that work though with the swapping off of the ethereal bracelet and the slaughter? Because I know they heal when you don't have a certain one on, right? Oh, you seeds. Okay, let's have a look at the seeds. If I do it down here, I think you can see it as well, as long as I don't pull it past my head. One in 277. Not great. I feel like my confirmation bias is kicking in, Dank, and they seem to want to throw rocks at me 24/7. Okay, no prayer pots. We'll go back with our basically full invent of sharks again. Captain R, what are you doing, bud? Gold bar. Ooh. Big. The other good thing that I can do while I'm in here is because I run past with a good amount of cash, I can usually just repair my gear as we go. So I don't have to wait for it to break and then repair it. I just take a little bit of the coins that I have and then repair my carols. Okay, so for the last 113 kills, I completely forgot that I was going to be taking Bracelets of Slaughter. So we'll see how many charges this has in it. 14. That's about as many kills as I can get in a trip anyway, so that's fine. We'll take that one. And we'll just try and swap in at the last second so that we extend the task. Because burning out all that stuff previously wasn't great. So we lose one shark spot. That's not going to be the make or break. This could save us a lot of time in the future. But just while we're here, I'm just going to chow down really quick. Won't take me long at all. Let me get the belt to show you as well as part of the get up. Now, I don't think this is going to do it much justice, but it's like a thick leather-esque, I guess, girdle type belt. But basically, I'm going to be cosplaying as a blacksmith by the looks of it. need some sort of a mini game that we can play whilst I'm eating. It doesn't take me long, so it'd be one round or something, but... I've seen people play Who Wants to Be a Gillionaire, which looks interesting. Yeah, marbles works as well. Right. Now let's see if I can do the simple task of swapping my bracelet. I reckon I can handle a switch. I'll just do it early. There we go. Did it proc? Boo. So you will a Gillian GP. Well, now the thing is, right, there's trivia there. And my trivia skills are lacking. I don't know a lot about the intricacies of this game, so it could be fun to try. Maybe I'll actually learn something. Tell you what, Grizz, hit me with some RuneScape trivia, and I will answer the question. But start off like intermediate, or wait, no, start off easy. Something I could probably get right, you know? And probably whatever question you're thinking, make it like 5 times easier, and that's the sort of level we're on. Oh, that one procs there. Didn't count. The bracelet's already paying off. How many cows in Lumbridge? Now, is that the Lumbridge cow pens? Or is that just out and about? I think they're only in the cow pens, so it's probably... let's say... I don't know, I feel like I need a multiple choice on that one. Because one of those is going to sound right or wrong. Now, if you said 5,000 on the multiple choice, I'd rule that one out. And then I could maybe guess or deduce the others, you know? I would go and say maybe 21. 21 cows. You definitely start off easy, Grizz. Nature runes, 46. Or wait, you're going to give me multiple choice, or do I just... Ah. Well, that's because I didn't have multiple choice there, you see. That was user error. At least it was in the 40s. Okay. Oh, yeah, let's try again. And you see, the trick is to answer with complete confidence every time. And even if you're horrifically wrong, I don't know, you look worse. What city is east of Varrock? That would be Canifis, no? Is that a city? Yes. Okay, okay. God, I feel like I'm back in school. Getting sweaty hands here. Did you study for your test? No. Okay, multiple choice. Here we go. Time to shine. Willow seeds. Well, we're going to pick those up. Okay, minus 20, minus 15, minus 25. Minus 30. So it's RuneScape, so it doesn't like the player base that much. So I'm going to go for minus 15 because all of those others sound too generous. And Jagex wants you to suffer. Locking in B. Also, this way it's copium if I haven't got it. And it feels a bit better. Incorrect, damn it. Okay. $25. That's pretty good. Okay, well, it's better than I thought it was. Oh. First skill cape. It's got to be something like one of the melee combats, right? I'm going to say the attack cape. Willow seeds and papaya tree seeds. It's not going fantastic for us. I'm going to say Slayer. Slayer feels like it would be one of the cool capes to put into the game. Shit. Classic normie skill. Okay. Yeah, I feel like I'd be losing money if I was on this game show right now. I think I would have to pay the show host just to walk off the set. This is what I mean, Grizz. If I play that, then I'll get better. And then I'll unlock my true potential. I'll become unbound. Praise this bracelet. It's doing bits for me. Two pairs of range. Is that the fee? If you're getting your brain rotted, you need compensation. I don't have enough ranger boots for everyone in here, though. That's the problem. So you can't all be compensated for the brain rot. See, I think trivia knowledge is one of those ones that is obviously observational based. Depends how observational as a person you are. But then on top of that, how long you've been playing. Oh my god, it's just Seed City over here. See, I think that's the beautiful thing, because I forget what I did yesterday. I've always got more room for knowledge, you know? bonks. Not terrible. Oh, okay. I mean, then we'll be able to pick up our imp thralls, which would be wonderful. Yeah, I have to remember what I'm actually picking up, because I can't remember what it was I was going for. I've definitely got to get the dragon tool kit, as I have every dragon tool at the moment. Oof. And slapped that in this corner. You can get it for the future though, you know? You can just have it sitting in the bank. Extra bank value. Maybe 2 more kills on this trip. I haven't actually looked at some, I mean, since I did the leagues, well, at the start of it, I haven't really looked back into it again. I'm sure I'll remember when I have another browse, or I'll change my mind. That's A-okay too. I just know that the dragon tools were kind of a cool idea to get, since I have all of them. I want the void gear as well, actually. shafts again. Boo. Right. I'm just looking at the time now, guys, and I'm thinking that today is probably a good idea to do a slightly shorter stream. Just on the basis that this is number 2. For next week, I will have either dual stream sorted or Twitch sorted out, just to give it a try. And see which platform I prefer, just to give it a go, you know, mix it up. So if you do not follow me on Twitch, please do go and have a quick look over there. It is, there was a link before. I think it's in the Discord. And we're just going to mix it up a tiny bit. I'd like to dual stream preferably, but if I can't figure that out, I'm going to do one day on there just to give it a test. Just mix it up a touch, you know. Play you some of my favorite music instead of the repetitive and consistent music that is on this platform. And that's really the only reason I want to try it out, just for a little bit of a change of music. But yeah, I think this is probably the best time to end it, just because I'm looking at the 107 black demons on task. And it's not like we're going to make a massive dent in that in the meantime. But in 3.5 hours, we slayed 112 demonic gorillas. So that's not a fantastic kills per hour. We can't really do much better than that is the problem. We are kind of locked in. I'm doing it at relatively maximum efficiency. I haven't left to go and do something else like a farm run. This is me just been killing them. So yeah, unfortunate, but that's the kind of pace we're working with at the moment. Yeah, I'll be back on Monday. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Hope you enjoy the rest of your week. New video drops this weekend, so thank you for being patient and waiting for that one. In the meantime, have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will catch you soon. Peace, peace, peace.